This is workshop number 2, and we're going to be discussing the first module from the workbook, and it's all about defining your emotions. Did you know you could choose how you feel in any situation? It sounds crazy. After years and years in the business world, nobody ever asked me, if I wanted to learn how to feel better. All they wanted out of me was productivity, cost savings. And then when I started doing a lot of these coaching programs and got involved in personal growth, someone said to me, you know that if you're feeling miserable, you don't have to feel miserable. You can choose to think something else. You can choose to feel better. And that to me was it really was mind-blowing, and it's something that I want to try and teach you. Now, for a lot of people, you're going to go, oh yeah, this just sounds crazy, the idea that you can create your emotions. But if you think about when you're going to a football game, or when you're anticipating doing something that you really enjoy, like going on vacation, just the thought of going to the football game or going on a fishing trip or going on vacation makes you excited because you're anticipating what could happen. And creating any emotion is like that. If you're feeling miserable, you can generally find some kind of thought that can make you feel a little bit better, even if you can't actually feel happy. So module 1 in your workbook is all about defining your emotion. And the reason that we're going to start thinking more about our emotions and defining them a little bit better is because when you start making action plans for your life, when you start thinking about what you want to achieve in life, you want to build in more positive emotions into your life. And you do that by identifying situations where you feel good emotions, and also identifying situations where you feel emotions that you don't particularly enjoy. Sometimes those situations, you can't get away from them. You're always going to have to fire an employee. Someone, your dog's always going to die, and your kids are always going to get in trouble at school. Whatever it is that makes you feel negative emotion, it's always going to happen. But if you can anticipate those situations and try and make it just a little bit better, then those negative emotions are easier to deal with. So how do we do this? You will see there is a whole long list of emotions in your workbook. Those are not exhaustive. They are just a list of emotions that I kind of feel quite a lot. I love productive emotions. I love to feel committed. I love to feel disciplined. I love to feel accomplished. And this really works when you're thinking about a task. If you've got to do a 50-minute block working on a task that you hate, instead of saying, oh, I don't feel like doing it, say, I don't want to do it, but I'm committed to getting it done. And it just changes your whole kind of mindset and makes you feel more positive. So I want you to look at those list of emotions. And for each emotion, like happy, I want you to think of 3 or 4 things or 3 or 4 occasions where you feel happiness. Fulfilled, when do you feel fulfilled? When do you feel accomplished? This is not, deep and meaningful. Just write them down and just off the top of your head. It shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes. So go through the list. If there's other emotions that you hate feeling but you feel a lot, it may be depression, it may be anxiety. Think about all those situations where you feel those emotions. Or if there's other emotions you feel that I haven't listed there, write them down in the situations that you feel them in. Once you've got your list of emotions that and when you feel them, I want you to look at the list and highlight, first of all, the feelings that you like the best and the feelings that you want to avoid. There'll be lots of emotions in between that you're kind of like, oh, I don't really feel that often, or they don't really make you, you don't consider them positive or negative. Just don't worry about those. We're focusing on the good feelings and the bad feelings. So now when you look at those good feelings, I want you to look at all the different ways that you could create more of those positive emotions in your life, more of those things that make you feel good. So if you're wanting to feel loved and connected, then you know that by spending more time with family or friends makes you feel more loved and connected. If you want to feel proud and fulfilled, then you want to be setting bigger goals at work that you can hit, or else setting really small short-term goals that you can hit quickly, so you get that quick feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment. If you want to feel organized, how could you schedule your day better so that you would feel organized? How could you sort your house out if that's what makes you feel organized? So just go through the list and figure out all the ways that you could do more things that bring positive emotion into your life. Next, you need to look at the list of all the negative emotions or the emotions that you don't feel like, you don't want to feel, and think about how you could avoid those situations. Now, life, there's always going to be good times and bad times, and we have to just accept that. And often after a really, really bad time in your life, the good times follow. For example, if you're working on a really, really huge sales goal or challenging goal, or if you're training for a marathon or some kind of fitness goal, it is exhausting, it's stressful, and you feel like it's never going to end. But then when you hit that goal or you accomplish whatever you are setting out to achieve, you feel amazing. So that uncomfortable phase is followed by something really positive. So look at all the things, all the times you feel negative emotions, and see if there's a way you can avoid it. For example, if you feel exhausted and that's affecting your productivity, how can you go to bed earlier? Because normally most of us can't get up later. And if you sleep late on weekends, then you don't get to go to bed early that night. So don't sleep late on weekends. Try and get up at about the same time all the time. But if you feel exhausted, how can you go to bed earlier? If you feel overwhelmed, how can you fix that? You know my favorite? Do a mind flush and prioritize it. If you're feeling frustrated, then how can, what is making you frustrated? How can you take steps to not feel as frustrated? And if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, how can you build more positive emotions into your day or into your week? So if you can understand that life is always going to be a mix of good and bad, and if you can schedule your day and your weekends as well, because everything that you're learning for during the week you can apply to weekends as well. If you're wanting more fun times, if you're wanting more fun emotions, if you're wanting things to look forward to, schedule them for weekends, and it'll make your week more bearable because you'll be planning on the things that you enjoy. Same thing for evenings. Don't just sit in front of the TV watching Netflix. Plan on doing some things that you enjoy. There's plenty of free things out there. If you download the TripAdvisor app or just Google top 10 things to do in your local area and start doing them. Getting outside in some fresh air is always a great way to boost your mood. So do the exercise, and the goal, remember, of this is just so that when you're working through your career goals, your financial goals, whatever goals you're going to set for your life, you just want to be building in more of the good emotions and trying to take steps to reduce the amount of bad emotions or uncomfortable emotions in your life. Good luck!